So for the past few weeks now, I've been working behind the scenes on redesigning my one-desk YouTube studio setup, and part of the reason for that is ApexDesk sent me their latest pneumatic height-adjustable sit-stand desk from their new AirDesk series. Since I got a sit-stand desk in my work-from-home setup, I was always curious what it would be like to have one in my studio, so when ApexDesk reached out, I was psyched. What's neat about the AirDesk series is that it doesn't use electricity to adjust its height. Instead, it uses a pneumatic air cylinder that brings it up and down via a lever. If you're looking to build yourself a production studio, a YouTube studio, live streaming studio on a single desk on a budget, ApexDesk made a very high quality desk here that really surprised me. So let's check it out and take a tour behind the scenes of my new studio setup, which you too can build for pretty cheap. What is up, my friends? It's Ray back here, and you may have noticed over the past few videos that things kind of look a little different here in my studio space. I mean, it does look very similar, like nothing really changed in the background, but I'm actually standing now instead of sitting. You guys know all too well about my work from home desk setup. It gets all of the attention, but thanks to ApexDesk, that might be changing. My YouTube studio setup, where all of the content creating magic happens, is moving on up, quite literally. Getting this desk completely changed my perspective on what's possible with a single desk studio setup. The desk features a beautiful 55-inch laminate wood finish and a very unique rustic gray color. It truly looks awesome, and that 55-inch surface offers more than enough space to get work done. As I mentioned before, there is no electricity needed to adjust the height, so there's nothing to plug in and there's no wire running around. Adjusting the height though is still super easy, as you just pull the lever and raise or lower the desk to your desired height. It's not quite as smooth as pressing a button on an electric desk, but given the price, it really is a great option if you're on a budget and still want a standing desk. Other things that I thought were really nice touches here is a crossbar that runs across the legs for added stability, and also built-in wheels to make this desk somewhat mobile. Despite this desk being height adjustable, I actually found it to be very stable at all heights that I put it at. For a $329 desk, ApexDesk pulled out all of the stops to make this an incredibly high quality desk that feels like it should be a little more than its asking price. It really is the perfect new addition to my one desk YouTube studio setup. Not to mention, it was super easy to assemble. The desk took me literally no more than 20 minutes to put together. It comes in two large boxes, but it wasn't difficult by any means. Everything is pre-drilled, so all you have to do is line up and screw in the screws. It's super easy. Since this desk is being used in a studio setting and it raises up, my original power setup wasn't working with all the gear, as the wires would tug when I raised the desk and it just looked to be a mess. So what I did was I mounted a power strip to the back of the desk. I did this same exact thing in my work from home desk setup. This keeps things nice and organized and results in just one cable running down from the desk to the outlet. As I always say, Velcro, adhesive zip ties, and mountable surge protectors are your best friends for having a clean, organized setup. The original version of this one desk setup was actually inspired by Caleb Pike, DSLR video shooter. He created a video about creating a YouTube studio on one desk, and mine is actually kind of a variation of that. I gotta say that creating this and having a place to land to create my content was the best decision that I ever made. There's no tripods in the middle of the room, no large lights, no wires running everywhere. Everything is just all on one desk and it's ready to go when I need it. Hey Google, turn on studio lights.
All right, turning on 5 things.
Aside from the desk, mostly everything else remains the same here in my production studio. The most advanced part of my setup here is the camera mount. This is a combination of a monitor desk mount, a desk arm, and a tripod extension tube. This monster contraption gives me total flexibility in how I mount my camera and move it around. When I'm ready to film, I just pop my camera on and I'm ready to rock and roll. After nearly 2 years of using this custom camera mount system, I can confirm that it works works very well. On the desk, I also have two Elgato key lights, a Shure SM7B on a Blue Compass mic arm, a Zoom H4n audio recorder, and a Google Nest Mini, which lets me control everything with my voice.
Sure. Turning 5 things on.
It is worth mentioning that if you're interested in any of the gear that I'm using here in my YouTube studio setup, or any of my setups really, I place links to everything that I'm using down in the description box down below. There's also a link there to my Amazon storefront where I have everything that I use in list form, from camera gear to my setups to Switch accessories and so on. I spent a great deal of time curating these lists to be helpful resources so you guys can see everything that I use behind the scenes, so I really do hope that you enjoy them. So there you have it, my one desk YouTube studio setup for 2021. As my channel continues to grow, my studio always has to be at the top of its game, and the fact that I get to keep it minimal while still being just as productive is pretty incredible. There's no shortage of gadgets nowadays to produce content, but like I said before, having a place to land to create your content and maintain consistency is really amazing, especially if you're serious and passionate about what you're doing. If you want to make content creating more than just a hobby, there's nothing quite like having a studio set up to get the work that you do done. And thanks to awesome desks like this one from ApexDesk, it is more than possible to do something like this on a budget. Anywho, that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did and you liked what you saw, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it always helps out the channel. And until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!